Window washers of Reddit. What is the most memorable thing you have seen while on the job? One of my first jobs, I worked as a window cleaner in a little town in England. For a year maybe. Saw some sights. Once saw an old lady getting changed. Nearly jumped off the ladder in fear, but luckily didn't see anything. I was in charge of collecting the money though, and it was real awkward. One time an old man sat in his armchair and watched me intently with a deadpan expression as I cleaned his living room windows. I was pretending I couldn't see him, but I could. Boss's son also worked with us, and literally all dogs hate him, no idea why. Watched maybe 15 dogs chase this dude over the year. One bit his ass cheek so hard he had to get stitches. Had to clean a 4-story building on a hill, and boss used to prop the ladder up with 2 bricks under one leg. Super unsafe, while I shook my way up the ladder. All the window ledges were also covered in rusty nails to stop pigeons from landing, so I'd be like 40 feet in the air on an unstable ladder, shaking, trying to clean a window behind 100 giant rusty nails. Terrifying. My favorite story. I was cleaning away and looking in this guy's room and noticed a skateboard. I'm also a skater and thought, oh damn, I recognize that deck. It belonged to a guy I'd met like twice at the local park. The next day I was at the skate park and walked over to him. I sat next to him and kept a complete stone expression and said, hey, you look like the kind of guy who'd have black bed sheets. He was like, WTF, I do have black sheets. I was like, with white squares. I bet your room's blue as well. And he's noticeably freaked. Like, how the fuck do you know all this? And then I had to drop it. I'm your window cleaner mate. Saw your deck in a room yesterday. Fast forward 11 years. And he's currently my oldest and closest friend. A tornado. We'd had little warning before we saw it about 1 kilometer away. It didn't appear to be moving side to side much, which indicates that it's coming toward you. We winched down about 4 floors, jumped onto a fire escape and got inside the building, rode out the storm inside and then went home. I work for a private estate in the local polo club. I was under the impression that the owners were not home at the time, but I was wrong. I was washing windows this particular morning, and I came around to the restroom window and got a perfect view of this older couple in the shower together. The window looked out on a private fenced-in patio, so that's why it wasn't fogged glass. The window by the toilet is the same way. Bad design in my opinion. I've never moved faster in my life than I did catapulting myself backwards out of view of this naked couple. I don't believe they saw me because the next time we ran into each other, everything seemed normal from their end. Good friend is a window washer for downtown office towers. They get notice the day the windows are being washed, yet he says it's shocking how many people are freaked out by them being outside their window. Weird so, they came across a dude watching adult films on his office computer. When he noticed the window washers, he just gave them a big thumbs up and kept watching. I used to window clean hotels, which meant going room to room with a master key to let myself in. I've seen quite a few dildos and vibrators being proudly displayed on bedside tables, but the one situation that stuck with me the longest was just walking down the corridor and hearing 2 middle-aged people going at it in one of the rooms. It was a Georgian hotel in the Cotswolds, so very echoey. Their screams were getting louder and louder, and people were actually coming out of their rooms because it was so audible. All the housekeepers at the end of the corridor were doubled over laughing. That couple had no idea how intimately they shared their experience with us. This was 25 years ago. Cleaning 2nd floor windows in a hospital from a ladder. I arrived at a window to see a lady giving birth. The child was probably half in and half out, as best as I can describe it. The people in the room were so concentrated on what they were doing, they didn't notice me, so I made a hasty descent. A couple of windows further down, same floor, I see a man pacing up and down with his hands behind his back. Dark hair, tidy mustache, around 30. Will never forget his face. No idea why he wasn't in with his partner, but I had no doubt this was the father. Skip down a few windows, and I arrive at a window to see the lady being wheeled in on a wheelchair with the baby in her arms, the other mothers clapping, and the father walking behind with a huge beaming smile. Not a window washer, but I was the victim. It's a Saturday morning, and I wanted to have a nice lie-in. My headboard for my bed is up against the window, so I sleep facing away from the window, and have to turn around to see what is outside to open the curtains. On this fateful day, I woke up to some sound, but it wasn't alarming, so I just carried on as usual, stretched, then turned around to open my curtains. Then I see his face. The window cleaner clearly didn't expect me to open the curtains, and got a little scared. I too didn't expect to see someone's face looking back at me through the window. Early on a Saturday morning, he saw me almost fall off my bed in sheer terror. Paying him at the door when he was done was funny. We both laughed and pretended it didn't happen. Not a window washer, but I used to install and repair windows. One afternoon we'd gone out to a job where some arsehole neighborhood kids had smashed several back windows of a nice elderly couple's place. We worked our way from top. First 2 windows belonged to an ensuite bathroom, while the third was the bedroom to which the ensuite was attached. The master. My job was to clear any remaining glass from the area so the other bloke could put the new panel in. Anyway, I noticed a small urn on the desk by the window, with the name Triple Scoop engraved on it, along with 2 dates, about 4 years apart. Probably a pet. Hopefully a pet, I'd thought. Didn't think about it for more than a minute, then went back to work. We finished the upstairs windows, and went down to work on the 2 in the kitchen. Holy shit. There was a wall with 5 long shelves, each one holding several urns, similar to Triple Scoop upstairs. Turns out the elderly couple used to breed and raise greyhound, and the urns contained the remains of their deceased racers. Triple Scoop was their first champ. When I was doing my PhD, one of the other students had to wash windows on the weekend to make ends meet. Anyway, he was washing a block of flats one day. He didn't know this, but the block was home to a female lecturer in the same department as us. He washes the window of her bedroom, and she walks in completely naked. He stares in shock. She grabs a towel and it's over. The next day she files a harassment complaint about him, because she assumed he was pretending to be a window cleaner to see her naked. Luckily his employer could vouch for him, and the matter was dropped. Very awkward. One guy was on his computer wearing complete death metal attire. Spiked hair, full body leather, and heavy, and I mean heavy mascara, eyeliner. He was facing the window, and in turn, me. He locked eyes with me the entire time I was doing my job. He looked like he was going to murder me. That's when I saw what he was watching on his computer. My Little Pony. That's when his demeanor changed. He realized what I saw, and smiled from ear to ear. Window cleaner for over 12 years now. I've seen horrible things, also hilarious things. Once helped catch a pair of yobs who were on the run from the police. Was just minding my own business cleaning a customer's windows, when the fence panels behind us in the garden exploded. It started raining splintered wood and dirt. Some scum had nicked a car and cornered way too fast. They shot the corner, jumped the curb, and obliterated the garden and the nicely parked up BMW in the drive. Both knobheads ran immediately and hopped the gardens, and in seconds out of nowhere there's a helicopter circling, and K9 units on them both. They were flat face, down on the pavement in a matter of moments. Big burly coppers pinning them down. Seen plenty of big double-ended dildos and strap-ons left out on the beds of undiscerning customers. Lots of naked old dudes, and people who were in the shower not knowing we were there, only to scream. It's a good laugh as a job really. Folks are always alright, and it's nice to have a cup on the job and a biscuit. I rappel buildings in NYC as part of my job. It's a job that already draws attention, but as a female even more so. However, while on rope it's quiet, and you get to peer into the lives of others. Did a drop last Monday, and I can 100% confirm that people do not wear pants while working remotely. The best thing I saw was a small girl playing with a giraffe toy right on the windowsill. Scared the shit out of me, as her little face came into view like 3 inches from mine. She screamed, and her mom came in. Her mom proceeded to tell her that girls can have awesome jobs if they want them, and we took selfies together. Worst I've seen. Rappelling hospitals. Was not prepared for the sheer amount of suffering behind those windows. I saw a window washer sneeze on the window, and just spread it on the window with a towel like it's a cleaning liquid. I did high-rise window cleaning for a better part of a year. Hotels were the most entertaining. Building management would issue a notice to guests that we'll be doing our thing, but it didn't seem to have much effect on some. I've seen numerous people having sex, more of the nudist types than you can shake a squeegee at. They weren't too bad if they were south of geriatric and less than 100 kilograms. Aftermaths of hellish parties, where it looks like someone put a bomb in the middle of the room, piled people on top, and then set it off, casting ragdolled bodies everywhere. A guy watching TV in a Barney the dinosaur costume. Then there are the ones that just stare at you. Creepy. Had a few people call security on us, saying we're terrorists. Kind of understandable in some respects, as this was in Melbourne, Australia, and as many will know it gets hot in Australia. So to protect ourselves from the ungodly heat, we would basically dress like Arabs, with their lovely white flowing robes, complete with headgear. But then again, what bloody terrorist strikes fear into the people by washing your windows? I clean commercial ground level windows. One time when I was in the groove, I noticed a highly inebriated lady staggering around and yelling at people she went by. I went to grab my water bottle, and as I took a nice swig, I noticed the inebriated lady lean against a window, put her hands down her pants, and slap a well-used panty liner against my clean window, about 20 feet away. I spat out my water all over the windows I just cleaned, and had to peel off this used panty liner. I'm not the bad type. It's natural and such. I just couldn't believe someone would do that.